up, y'all? 1:07 a.m. We're gonna vibe tonight for a little bit. It's gonna be a tunes heavy show. Hope you're feeling well. I am full and satisfied and a little sleepy, but not too bad. It's 1:07 a.m. on the East Coast. We got a nearly full moon. It is, I was mistaken. Yesterday wasn't really the nearly full. It was 97 yesterday, and tonight is 99.4, I think we're right now. So, actually the real full moon is tomorrow, or like going through from tonight until tomorrow. But regardless, we're here observing the beautiful Luna as always. You can see the nice detail on the Terminator on the left where it's not quite there yet. Saying what's up to Miguel and NGC. What's up, fam? Wonderful to see you. Thank you. So let's set the mood. I'm gonna play some oldies tonight. No repeats. That is crispy, and as I say that, we've got some atmospheric turbulence, but still, crispy shot. I see Astralis Ren, how you doing? Great to see you. Yo, yo. We're nearly at the full moon yet again, and I hope everybody had a great start to their week. Feeling bullish. Fullish Bullish tonight. Although the thumbnail says signs of life, which is, I guess, that's what came to mind a few minutes ago. I was like, oh shit, I need a thumbnail. Yo, effed up world, what's going on? Welcome. We's all good here. So yeah, gonna play some oldies tonight, and I'll take requests too, but nothing I played last night if possible. And you know, we'll talk about some topics, but if there's anything from last night that I was saying that piqued your interest, or if you want me to speak on a certain topic, that would be fun to get inspired. Otherwise, just gonna vibe with y'all tonight for a little bit, an hour, maybe two. Maybe we'll see something. Of course, we're getting closer and closer to full, so we'll see more and more of the Terminator creep along on the left. And we'll do a zoomed in shot, of course, check out Aristarchus, Chrysium, and the works. Alright, this one is called Describe It to Me. Yo, what's going on, Ed Chair? I see ya. Oh yeah, we're riding that wave right there. Just want to hop in and say what's up to everyone who's joining. I see Ed Chair, thanks for the thumbs. I see Rick Mead, slash it says Eric, checking in for the first time. What's going on? Welcome. Make yourself comfortable and ask any questions you'd like. I see Ryan. Much love, Ryan. Good to see you. Yeah, back to the tunes here. All right. That one's called Describe It To Me. If you remember when I first aired that song, then you're a true OG. I see Rain Song in the chat. What's going on? What a beautiful moon. Great to see you, Rain Song. Great to see you, moon. Great to see you, Rain Song. Welcome. And just give me a shout if I missed you. All right, so I'm zoomed in here. This is our wide shot on the 8-inch, and we're looking at Aristarchus at the top left corner, and then on the right we've got Copernicus, and then at the bottom we've got Kepler. One of the greatest configurations of all time, I would say. It's one of the few rare sights that we get to see from Earth of space, of planets, of the moon, that really is just staggering. Each one of these features alone is impressive, but all three of them together in this amazing Pythagorean triangle setup is just astounding. Never ceases to amaze, even after hundreds of times. So, let's see. Rainsong says, love your channel. Been following you since 2017. Heck yeah, love that. Love that, love that. NGC says, Aristarchus looking rusty. Right? I agree. Agree. I love the kind of blue hues that you get to the left, you know, coming out of Mare Frigoris. And, I don't know, there is a little bit of, like, aberration going on. So, we'll sit on this and try and get some of these sharp views, play some more tunes. Let's see, any other... Yeah. So I saw a request for Catch and Find Shore Ways. Those will come up in a little bit once I find them. But right now, I'm going to play something different. Maybe let's keep going with some of this electronic stuff from way back. What about The Sky Don't Lie? Zoom tour coming in.
Voilà. Want to hop in and say hi to Mary. Mary, what's going on? Lovely to see you. Welcome. All right, 1:28 a.m. Doing a Zoom tour of our nearly full moon in April. I got our super wide shot zoomed in, so we get a lot of area to view, and but also some good detail. So we got Tycho, or Tycho, any way you want to pronounce it. Some amazing filamentary striations coming out, and of course one of the main features that no one ever talks about, this what looks like a smudge, but it could also be like these two parallel rays. They call them rays for some reason. I feel like, I guess I understand why you would call them a ray, but it just doesn't really resonate with me. But I don't know what's really better right now, but to me, regardless of what we call it, the feature itself is profound. It's very interesting, and nobody really has an explanation for how it formed, when it formed. In fact, if you kind of see right here where it's kind of going blurry, if you imagine that it's connected somehow to this filamentary action across the surface from Tycho or Tycho all the way upwards, or at least maybe starting at the top and going towards Tycho and ending on a massive discharge in the electric universe theory. Impact-wise, let's say Tycho was an impact crater. It still is a very interesting feature that we don't really talk about very much, especially since it kind of looks like it smudges on top of one of the further up craters, not craters, but mares. Is that Nectaris or something? I think I'm a little bit off with the mares on this side of the moon, but I definitely know that we've got this interesting hexagonal crater called Bully Aldous at the very tip of that tail. So what would you call it? I think it's really interesting. But we've looked at it before, and when it's crispy here, you can, and especially turning up the contrast, we get to see some really exciting detail. So I'm going to rest on this for a little bit and play some tracks. Anybody else I miss? I see Copper Chops in the chat. Yo, yo. Great to see you. Hope you're having a lovely evening. Morgan Ellis, hi. Great to see you. Welcome. Think for yourself. What's happening? Welcome. Just reading upwards from here.
Alright. Electrical scarring. So yeah, I also love the hues and blues of the different little Maris over here. And yeah, we'll keep moving upwards towards Oceanus. This is the southern tip of Oceanus Procellarum, or the Procellarum Basin, which at the top is Mare Imbrium, and we have all the other areas that we just visited. Alright, I'm rambling on. Let's go to a classic, and because we didn't play it last night, it is valid for a non-repeat. Let's go, where is it? Here we go. Oldie but goldie.
I left home at 17. Couldn't tell you if I was living a dream. What could I do? For a while I played the field. Space theater seems no one better comes Lord Davin, the soulful speaker brings me back over telephone lines, running amok in future times. In my space theater seems no one lives here. Existence has no motives either. Bring me back to your elegant crime. Free fall jams into your mind. So let's get crazy today. Got my smokes, I got my coffee. I feel some love in the air, that's right, that's nice. I got some love everywhere, that's right.
Alright, we're vibing here now. That one's called Why Am I? And it's one of those songs that you just want to keep going, but it doesn't. It just stops right there at 2 minutes 40, and you're like, gosh, give me more of that. I don't know, what do you think? Thanks for the kind comments, everyone. I see y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. 1:40 a.m. with our crispy Luna. Slowly getting fuller and fuller, which is really nice. It's a cool time to watch the moon. And excellent altitude, excellent visibility, besides a little bit of atmospheric turbulence. But way better than last night. Last night I was chasing the view like crazy. I was exhausted. But we got some true energy tonight. Alright, more tracks here. This is going to be a tunes kind of night, so all the stuff that I didn't play last night coming through here. This one's called Hurricane.
Don't slow me when you sleep. No way for the ones you love. And I crawl up beside you. Fly. You're my hurricane. No sleep when I lost you. No sleep when I lost you. You're my so many words of the living and the birds below. plays a part. We know it's supposed to end. We sleep with the name we call. Send in the mother tree. Got to believe it when I say that we've been here again. Got to believe it when I say that we've been here again. But I can see it's all of us that need to keep our hands above water. That's the knowledge you can need. It's all the little curse and secret plans and other things. Such a critical need. Technology by itself. Real to me, real to me, make it real. Far as I can see, it's all of us catching a dream of a creature of the sea. Once in magic, space and time, space and time, space and time, space remains high, space remains high, space moves dry, space just get high, space just say hi, space but take high, space and take high, space and everywhere, baby. They say biology literacy, so many want to you apart. And so far as I can see, I'm taunted by the dream ever since
I wonder if I've ever played that one before. This is a totally weird deep cut. Anyway, coming on here, say have a great day. NGC, thanks for hopping on. Let's see what's going on here. Just reading some of these comments. Cognition Design, what's going on? Nice to see ya. Donald Yates, I said what's up. Auntie Queenie. And Donald, and anyone else I missed, let me know. Whew. Heck yeah. It's looking so beautiful right now. I think I'm going to stick with this shot for a little bit. And then I'm actually going to get rid of the focal reducer and get even closer. Try and get us some nice shots of Aristarchus, I think. Cognition, you were saying, what's the super bright spot on the upper left, ice or minerals? So on the upper left corner, right, we've got what I was zoomed into earlier, which is Aristarchus Plateau. And then in the corner of that, you got Aristarchus Crater, which is super duper bright. Similarly bright to it on the other side, on the right-hand side, we got Mare Crisium and then Proclus, which also glows extremely brightly, similarly to Aristarchus Crater. We'll zoom into both of these, take a look. What I think it is I don't know, I couldn't say if there's really ice or not in these, essentially because we have these in direct sunlight, so the parts of the moon that I think have ice are usually the poles, typically the poles, that's what they say. But yeah, I would say that Aristarchus is more the minerals, maybe a crystalline structure at the bottom, and the way the sides, the polygonal nature of it, I know that I'm just kind of just rambling a little bit here, but if we've zoomed in there before, and I'll try and do it again tonight, but you can see a lot of very specific kind of crystalline structure inside of Aristarchus. There are a lot of different ideas around why it glows so brightly, but it seems to be a combined effect of the mineral deposits there, along with the way the sunlight hits it. And then we also have the phenomenon of off-gassing, which is just a weird term, but essentially there's some sort of chemical reaction on the surface from certain vents under the surface, releasing gases and mixing gases on the very thin atmospheric surface of the moon, creating almost like a glow effect from the different types of gases like xenon and argon and krypton, which is really strange. So it could be something like a combined effect of that. It could also be something else. So just a few thoughts, rambles on Aristarchus and the glowingness. I also do have filters on and contrast turned up, so if I balance it out a little bit more, you don't see it as much. It flattens it out a bit more, but I rather like it. Get some more contrast in there. All right, back to the tunes and the zooms. I'm feeling a little melty tonight, so I'm glad it's just some tunes and the moon. If you have any comments on what I was saying yesterday in terms of like how the eyes work or consciousness, I'm always happy to talk about it. But yeah, I just feel like we need to be able to do that. So scrolling here, trying to find a really deep cut, and I think I'm close. There we go. Find Shore Ways coming in.
Like a fifth wheel, I'm laying low here with an old friend. Bouncing waterfalls, like a history. High, singing low with the cold trace of the soul track. You brought me down to the whoa. Forget about the land you knew was strange. Remember all the love you knew was fake. Won't you close your eyes, relinquish every step of the way. Oh, terrestrial, and all your memories, like a cold hand. What's up your sleeve, like a fifth wheel? I'm rolling down. I'll be toe to toe with the truth you know. All the fine, show ways. Would you go to the end of your days with your fine? Will you crawl up to you? Will you go to the end of your days? Yeah, go to the end of your days, to the end of your days.
Let's talk about the eyes for a second. And 'cause the chat brought it up, and I always will take the opportunity to discuss how the human eyes work because it's so goddamn important. But I'll also say that the moon is looking incredible, absolutely incredible tonight. This is like one of those early times streaming back in the day when things were very, very crisp. I mean, we've had a lot of very crispy nights, but crispy like this happens every, I don't know, 50 or so nights of viewing. At least that's how it feels. Could be wrong. Maybe it's always this sharp. I don't know. Last night was a struggle. All right, let's talk about how the eyes work. So if I'm just going to nutshell it, so it's not a long drawn out thing in the beginning, the common knowledge, if you look up how the eyes work on YouTube or Wikipedia or Reddit or Quora or any public source of knowledge, it invariably starts with this idea that rays of light or photons enter the eye, and then a process happens, and then because that happens, then we see things. It doesn't ever discuss anything outside of the eye, really, in terms of what's actually happening as the light hits our eye. It always talks about everything that happens right after the eye enters, the light enters our eye. And I started to think with the idea of electricity and the idea of interconnectivity, and then I don't know if I came up with it or if I stole it from somewhere, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is that why do the eyes not play a role in seeing in terms of emissions? And that's where you start to think, you're like, well, what if the eyes actually emitted light because we are beings of light and or we are biological fleshy humans, let's say. If you don't want to believe that we're beings of light, let's say we're fleshy humans, but we definitely emit radiation, right? You pick it up on an EKG, you pick it up with heart monitors. Science just agrees that human bodies are electrical in nature, but they don't discuss where the electricity actually comes from. So it needs this parallel path to discuss optics, which is electrical function of the human body, of where the electricity comes from and why you would actually have electricity emanating from the eyes. So you'd have electricity emanating from the eyes if the human body was fully electrical and just emanating omnidirectionally well, that's an oxymoron, but omnidirectionally, so emanating energy in all directions from source. Source being our nervous system, which outlines the electrical filamentary structure of the fractal nature of the universe. So if you look at your hand, you'll see these dendritic filaments. If you look at your nervous system, you'll see the same dendritic filaments, and on, upwards and downwards of every scale. So the human body is electrical. Where does that electricity come from? So if you look that up in science, when I say science, I mean look it up in all sorts of different forms of science, from papers to YouTube videos to talk to people about it, you'll see that electricity is attributed to metabolism and cellular activity and certain types of activities in the body at a molecular and atomic scale that are dissociated from the human experience. So we don't do anything. The human does nothing, but everything that happens in our eye just happens. Everything in our body just happens. We make electricity, cells are electrical, our little piezo currents, and metabolism is the attribution given to electricity in the body. So I know I'm talking a lot, but let's say that, for argument's sake, that we have electricity coming in from the top of our head and going into the ground. So above us we have a sky, which is an ionosphere, and we have this layered kind of gradiated water electricity system that we exist within. All humans, if you imagine humans and trees as if we were hairs on an arm or a leg or whatever, and we're hairs on the back of a planet. We're part of the planet, so we grow out of the planet. We emerge from Earth, but on Earth, along these filamentary branches, which are outlined directly by our nervous system. So our nervous system, if you look at a picture of the nervous system, imagine that what outlines on the outline beneath that is an electrical current. And I say an electrical current, imagine a lightning bolt, an actual dendritic filament of lightning. And the reason everybody's different, you have 8 billion people that are the same but a little different, is because this lightning bolt is ever so different for each and every individual creature on Earth, because it wiggles just a little bit differently in the structure of our reality. Therefore, it can be identical but slightly different. And that slight difference gives each and every one of us a different perspective, which means it gives us different eyeballs. So everybody has same eyeballs, but they're slightly different. That's why we see things differently. But we can also agree that there's a chair or there's a table. You know what I mean? There's always been this problem with collective reality, like collective consciousness or collective agreed upon reality. When people talk about simulated reality or solipsism, or the idea that we can't be sure of anything, we always come back to this idea that no, we can agree upon things. As a collective, we do agree upon things, but everybody's got a slightly different perspective. So let's say that our systems are not just governed by cellular activity that create electricity, but our entire being grows along electrical filaments that are grounded, forked into the ground, and that go up into the ionosphere, into space directly. So we're grown along this giant current through the womb of the mother into the system along branches, just the same way trees and mycelia do. We just view things so differently as people from the earth that we feel like we're so dissociated from the great matrix of it. But the matrix really is these great filamentary branches that reach out into space. And so each of us has grown along a certain type of filamentary hereditary branch, not in a metaphysical structure alone, but also physical structure. So if we bring it back to eyes, right? So each of us has a set of eyes that can see things, and the human body has electricity in it. So if the electricity in the human body emanates, which we know it does, omnidirectionally in every direction, this is what creates our field, and our field of memory, like the human biofield. So let's say we take back space, or we take back how electricity emanates from the human body, and let's say we just take the head. So our brain is highly electrical. It's kind of a squishy, wet, gray matter that's extremely electrical in nature. Everything happening in it is like these little electrical neuron synapses that are essentially have their own little brain, and there are trillions of them. Okay. So let's say our skull contains this massive amount of radiating photonic energy, the spiritual, etheric plasma, which makes up our soul. So condensed, if ether is soul, the particular resonance is personality, is persona. But the deep structure is that we're all the same, right? From creature to people, it doesn't really matter. Fractally, geometrically, substance-wise, pretty much all the same. But everybody has a different experience. So the different experience is a slight wiggle in the nervous system being a little bit different for each and every single creature that emerges from this space. All right, lots of electricity in the head. It's going out of the ears into space, not staying in the ears. So sound doesn't fall into the ears. Electricity is radiating from our ears at the rate of our heartbeat as an oscillator, and our eardrum is creating drum signals that go out of our ear in echolocation like a bat. And this is how we can do natural noise cancellation. We can selectively hear things or not hear things, and we have a field of hearing that's 360 around each ear. That's because we're actually exuding and emanating like electricity and quantum entangling particles of sound that we want to hear. And the eyes, we even call them eye sockets. Why do we even call them sockets? They're like Electricity is baked into the human system and all the language around it. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so eye sockets. So you have a tremendous amount of electricity emanating from the ears, from the mouth, right? We're like beatboxing alone proves that we can sound exactly like machines. It's just an oscillation of a tonality, like the, you know, the. I'm not going to make the sound now, but that sounded really weird. But no beatboxing right now. But beatboxing sounds electronic because, you know, they're the same way we're made of the same substance. Sounds are pretty much the same sounds in different wiggles. I know it's long-winded, but this makes sense to me, and you know, having the context for everything. So electricity is emanating from the eyeballs. That's really what we're talking about here, right? This is the biggest thing that like just science ignores. Nobody talks about. Nobody looks up. Nobody researches. I still check, you know, on a regular basis these topics that I talk to y'all about. Almost nobody talks about like how the eyes work, how the ears work, how buffering works when I'm getting hot on a topic. Hopefully it's not too bad. Yeah, so electricity is coming out of the eyes. It's not just willy-nilly coming out of the eyes either. It's coming out in these beautiful Fibonacci spirals, right? Based on Dan Winter's work, based on Buddy Dougherty's work, when he talks about the hop vibrations, and you have these cascading Fibonacci spirals. So our eyes are not only just randomly exuding electricity or photonic radiation, they're actually creating cascades of perfect Fibonacci golden ratio spirals cutting into the etheric plasma in front of us, which itself is untapped reality. So as soon as we see something, we cut into it and we quantum entangle with the radiance of the computer screen, with the radiance of a person. That's how when you lock your eyes with a person, you can tell there's an actual and active connection. And if you imagine what I'm saying is even remotely true or has any type of substance, you realize that like we don't talk about one of the most fundamental things on Earth, which is how we see things. And that's why I harp on it so much, because it's really one of the most esoteric topic. Like how did the human eyes, we have that figured out. I'm like, what, how do we? It's all this other stuff. And if you look it up, you'll realize like they have either no idea, or they're coming at it from a purely materialistic sense of like cascade of proteins and peptides and rods and cones and inverted images and all these diagrams like Euclidean and not Euclidean, Cartesian trigonometry. You can come at optics with Cartesian trigonometry. You can come at it with, we chopped up the eye and here are all the different parts of the eye. But the main question is, how do we see things? Right? What does the eye do? Does it play a role in seeing? And the proposition here is that the eyes actually carve up reality the same way if you're doing AI right now, stable diffusion basically has a latent space and it fills in all these dots until an image appears into latent space and diffuses an image. And that's what we're doing. We're entangling these points to create the image of one another. But we do it so quickly, and so that's the basic premise. I know it's a long way around to say it, but yeah. So if you imagine we're smelling too, right? As we breathe out through the nose, we're sending out cascading Fibonacci spirals of smell sense, right? And I would imagine if you took it even further, that the tips of your finger and your stomach have their own sense, their own auric field of sense that can see things, because we're radiating. Every single organ in our body is humming and vibrating and releasing energy omnidirectionally, which is quantum entangling with everything else in our reality. I think it begs further discussion. Anti-Queenie, hell yeah, says that makes perfect sense to me. Says, how many cartoons have we seen of beams and hearts and spirals coming out of the eyes? Because they do. Yeah, and Superman, I mean, and, you know, The Boys, and all these shows we see beams coming out of eyes. And if you took it to the... Sorry for the buffering, y'all. I don't know, I see the dropped frames here. But hopefully it'll chill out. If you take it through the electric universe, kind of... wait, let me remember what this was. Yes, in the Purple Dawn era, when we're talking about Velikovsky, and we're talking about Ev Cochran. Oh my god. I was trying waiting for the name to come to me. So Ev Cochran and David Talbot, the video that was just on Thunderbolt's project, you know, where they kind of reconstruct the history from an electric universe vantage point. You would imagine that our eyes glowed in this Red Dawn era. And there are not reports, but there are writings. I do remember researching this and seeing lots of different references to the fact that the human eyes glow in the dark. So how does that work? We have a lot of science that proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that humans radiate energy, electricity, into the field, into the air around the body. And yet, when you look up how the eyes work, photons fall into our eyes like buckets. The eyes don't have any actual interplay outside of the iris or the pupil. It's really strange, right? Anti-Queenie says, we do see with our hands the electric body. This is how, you know, the fractal nature of the human mind, that every single point is the entire brain, is a node or an aperture of the greater whole, makes perfect sense in terms of explaining some of the really paradoxical parts of our reality. Again, a big one is what I've said a bunch of times, which is, how do we have so many people and creatures with extreme similarities, like similarities that you can't ignore, and yet every single creature, even the ones with similarities, all have a unique experience. And to me, having a nervous system based on an electric filament, where every single creature, every single instantiation of matter is based on this similar electrical filament, then you can have massive variety with extreme similarity, but also uniqueness, simply by having a wiggle, a slightly different wiggle. So you have infinite potential for infinite forms of life. And it's again, that's one of the topics that is never really talked about. Like, why do we have similarity across human beings, where the eyeballs are in the same place, the ears are in the same place? Even Michael C. Levin, who's doing these experiments and cutting up worms and putting eyeballs on frogs' legs, just will not talk about the basic structure of our reality, right? He just doesn't want to talk about it, and it's crazy. So he's the closest we have to scientists doing this kind of work, and he will not talk about electricity in the human body, or how we see, or where memory is stored, or how similarity, right, like the self-similarity and non-similarity. It's a massive point. Marky Rizzo, what's going on? Late night check-in. I see ya. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing great. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting some dropped frames here. Not sure what's going on. Why we got... Because I'm talking about how the eyes work, probably. Mary Quite says, do blue-eyed people see colors differently from green-eyed people? I think what I'm implying is that every single eyeball looks like an eyeball, but it sees things slightly differently. And that's a profound realization, or it's a profound thing to consider. And also the simple answer is that it's all based on the same blueprint, but the blueprint is made by a wiggling set of materials. So the materials basically adhere to this blueprint, and yet they're all wiggling slightly differently. And that's how we can all have different perspective. It's really I don't know. I mean, to call your own theories beautiful is definitely uh, egocentric, but I'll power through. I don't know. It makes sense to me. I think it's kind of beautiful that, like, that's why when I saw Jeffrey Walensky, shout out Jeffrey, Stellar Metamorphosis. When you think of, when you hear a theory that's just really stunning, it's not just that it's stunning. It's just that it's I don't know. I feel like I'm going to contradict myself here in general because I don't like the idea that we have these simplistic platitudes about science. So I don't want to say that just because something is simple means it's true. I'm not going to say that. But I will say that imagining our reality through the lens of electricity and etheric plasma, and being part of creation, co-creating our reality in real time, that to me seems simple and elegant, but I guess it's not really actually that. Just that's what it seems like to me. Hell yeah, I love that rain song. Thank you. Estrella says other sources, books and books. Yeah, I mean, we really, interestingly, live in this amazing time where things are so, I want to say, profoundly scary in a lot of ways, but also the amount of information that we have at our fingertips, at our eye tips, at our finger eyes, is just astounding too, because we can sit here and talk about these ideas. Plus, I've been, simmering on these same ideas for years, and they just get more and more refined and more logical to me. And then I get to come and share them here again, time after time while we watch our moon, which is also amazing. I mean, to have these tools. It's definitely not fake gratitude either. For me, it's always felt so incredible to be able to do this. And so it bears repeating. It bulls repeating. Okay, let's see. What other things have I not talked about? So how the eyes work, super important. Rupert Sheldrake talked about it a little bit, but I feel like, why don't people like Sean Carroll or Bernardo Castro or Michael C. Levin or Demystify Science or Thunderbolts Project or on and on and on talk about how the eyes work, or like where memory is stored? Even though Eileen McCusick said it in one of the Thunderbolts Project conferences, she literally talked to Don Scott, and they thought about the human biofield and how memories could be stored in our field, and yet it's not this kind of ongoing series on Thunderbolts Project with Eileen and a bunch of new people talking about it. She has to literally reset the wheel every single time when people interview her. She's like, well, I guess I started way back when I saw the tuning fork, and then I used the tuning fork, and and I'm like, my God, does no one do research? So it's actually the same with Rupert. You get Rupert on these podcasts with people, and they're like, the renowned band from TED Talk, band TED Talk, Rupert Sheldrake. Rupert, tell us about this. And this guy's like 82 years old, and he's like, oh, I really have to tell you everything about what I've done again. That's 40 minutes of the podcast. Okay, you knew I was going to lament our current state of science, but I'll stop whining right now. Let's just enjoy the moon. I think I'm going to go grab a smoke. I'm going to put a song on. And let me know if you have any thoughts about the eye stuff or any other topics that I can touch upon. Again, Jeffrey Walensky, Stellar Metamorphosis. The idea that stars have cores, and those cores end up being planets. Absolutely profound, massive idea. Nobody wants to talk to him. He barely has any subscribers. It's pretty incredible how we have massive answers like that to huge questions, and yet we have hundreds and thousands of videos that say nothing, that say absolutely nothing about science. Oh, I know it's really late actually, so yeah, you're forgiven if you're falling asleep. I don't know why I have so much energy, but I'm going to keep going here. Mary Quite, If you fall asleep, it's all right. Yeah, little break here, and find an oldie. Back in a few. So I switched it up, got the camera directly on the scope right now. What a killer view, if I may say so. I'm going to jam with y'all for a little bit longer, maybe another 30 minutes or so. Thanks for hanging out with me so late, Space Fam, as always. Look at this view, though. I mean, how can we not enjoy this? So it's getting closer and closer to full. Right now it's probably 99.4, 99.5%. 2:32 a.m. East Coast, edge of space. Talked about how the eyes work. I think it's very important. So we got some amazing colors coming through. I definitely have the saturation pumped up, but it's good to see. And the Terminator coming through nice and clear. How y'all feeling in the chat? Alright, what song are we doing here? This is one of the newer ones. Let's jam it for a bit.
So we can survive. And now we cross the river. So we may survive. You had your time. Tell me what's left for me. You done your crime. Tell me what's left of it. Let's bring in the rest of it. Ooh, making the best of it. You left your heart at the wheel. You got to give slowly. You got to give to reach it in the end. So, yeah, now we will float across the river. You know we will survive. The cost of life delivers. So we may survive. Keep it in our eyes. Seems like you know it's real. You know the deal. Slowly you got to feel to reach it in the end. So, oh, we're falling. Freezing the fire. Holding your heart to the tree. Slowly we bound as wages and hold on to air. When we're ready, I will somebody love the trouble. So we can survive. Just float across the river. The cost of life delivers.
Just hop in here quickly, read Astralis' comment. Astralis is saying, things are beyond distorted. I can't speak without being called a spiritualist or religious, like Buddhism isn't a religion on purpose. It is anti-establishment. So it's like, if I were to be, if I were to answer it in the way that I do, in this very layered way, I would imagine that and of course this is not in any way to dismiss how you feel about things, because the point is to feel. But I would say that, one, in a game of contrasts, we obviously can only know the self in relation to others. And two, I think, I don't want to list it out, but secondarily, I feel like we have this idea that people come at us for our beliefs. But I think in a way, the whole point is that it's very challenging to have a unique identity and belief system and unique individual thoughts. But the way you have these is because you're challenged by the outside, by the ether, that resonance, that kind of tension between our surroundings and our emanations is sort of what creates this tension release of reality that we see. Good or bad, I feel like it's inherent to nature. And then if we took it another step further, we could say that, in a way, everything is an establishment, ultimately. If we can only look at ourselves and realize that everything that we do, if we started to judge everything that we did, it would be the same as judging someone else. So I'm not excusing being ostracized for one's beliefs, but I'm just saying that if I think about it, it tends to be the system where you have an interchange between two ideologies, and yet we need each other. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Rune Thorson, what's going on? Good morning. Astralis says Vedic astrology. Let's see. Vedic astrology, the Sanskrit word Jyotish means the science of lights. It's the same thing you're saying, and people are trying to figure out, just like a big bad game of telephone. Well, I think I've said it on the show many times, but I think, again, it also bears repeating, which is we're all supposed to get lost in the game. As one, from one god to all of y'all who are gods and goddesses and everything on the spectrum, we have I don't know, we have the ability to have this game. This game is just amazing, right? And so all of it is a beautiful dance. And the whole point about the telephone thing is that we're supposed to not get the clear message. We're supposed to be taken in by the system. If we weren't taken in by the system and we knew everything, and there were no fear and no fear of death and no fear of missing out or fear of not having an experience or fear of anything, we wouldn't do anything. So in essence, it's the driver of reality is this contrast game. I think it's really important. It feels like a way to always answer every problem with a simplistic solution, but in this sense, in a metaphysical and philosophical sense, you can really take it to heart that that's sort of the most difficult thing is acceptance, which is why it yields the best and most maybe gratifying results. Acceptance of the world, acceptance of people, right? Because we don't point at a cloud and say, oh, what an ugly fat cloud, and we don't look at ocean waves and say, oh, what an ugly ocean wave. But we look at each other and are very quick to judge. So, I don't know, maybe it's a fractal result when it comes down to the fact that we as entities communicate with one another on this extremely fractal, tiny fractal filamentary tip, this wavefront that's extremely detailed and, well, even though it's fractal on every level, it should be detailed. But either way, I think because we do that, these massive rifts start to happen. We get these extremes in terms of vantage points or viewpoints, especially with religious ideologies. I know I'm completely going off here, but yeah, sorry if I'm misinterpreting stuff, Australis. It's late, and I'm also like trying my best here. So, not putting words in your mouth. Rune Thorson says Buddha teaches not doing anything. So I didn't really address Buddhism necessarily, but I think if we take in all these different types of religions or different types of belief systems, they're all trying to find something, right? Either enlightenment or salvation. And whatever that may be, does it really matter, right? You are prostrating the self to the mercy of another instead of accepting other. That's really the difference. So all different types of religion try and attribute the salvation to an extraterrestrial or a speculative deity or an invisible God or an idea and not the self. And acceptance of self and the power of self is very rarely truly embodied in religion, or at least organized religion. But the thing is, it's so powerful to recognize the power of the self, and that if everyone were that enlightened, then the world wouldn't work. So everyone has to not be enlightened. Let's see, Rune says, no, you didn't. That is what I've understood from the meditations. Oh, NGC, good to see you. See that you're back. Auntie Queenie says it's all within. I love it. Yeah, I realize you're talking to Rune. Alright, cool. So, like I said, I put the camera direct to scope here where you have this unbelievable view of a nearly full moon. And I'm going to scout around a bit more. It definitely looks better at the northern part, Mare Imbrium, Plato. You can see these incredible... do you see this triangular structure right in the center of Mare Imbrium? It's very, very detailed right here. You have the kind of green, the camo green, brown, and in the center you have this... Or maybe I'm just imagining things. Moon pareidolia, moon brain has got to me. More tunes here. More tunes.
See, I'm lost without you. See.
this one. I haven't played this one maybe a long time. I thought it had vocals on it, but it doesn't. I missed it. Yeah, let me know what you think of that one. That was like a demo. It's called... What is it called? Polyhedral. Polydrynol. Poly something. Polydrywall. Weird. Just a weird title. Anyway, I see Renegade in the chat. What's happening, Ren? Nice to see you. I see Eurydice is a request. I will play Eurydice, but I wanted to play some weirder stuff. And also this moon, right? What the heck? So crazy. NGC, I know you said you wanted an inverted shot, and every time I think I can do that, I realize that they updated something with OBS a little while ago. I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago, where the contrast thing doesn't invert the image anymore. And it's really annoying. I don't know how to fix it, and I think I've tried everything here except maybe reverting to an older version of OBS, which is not a great idea. So that sucks. But I don't know, maybe I'll spend some time tomorrow trying to figure it out. Let's see. Yeah, let's keep going with the jams here. I was talking about the eyes earlier. Yeah, what a shame, right, NGC? I don't know, like, it's the same panel. And this is my gamma. It was contrast. Contrast used to go and flip right there. Let's see. Just gonna play around with it for a second. Maybe I'm missing something. It used to be way easier. Saturation, hue shift, it's not any of these. See, did they just get rid of the invert thing? I feel like I'm just remembering it incorrectly. I think it's just the contrast thing that just got messed up. So contrast used to be able to go... Maybe I just have to punch in a value over here. Let's see. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Can I just keep going? I can't go any lower here. Yeah, not great. Oh well. We tried. The moon's looking amazing regardless. So let's get back to the tunes. Oh, this one hasn't been played in a while. Right? Let's go for it anyway.
Walked into a
Alright, yeah, major faux pas. I repeated myself, but yeah. This was an early demo. I think, what's the date on this one? It's 2018, October 2018. So yeah, no problem. Pas de problème. But I got some more old tunes here. What's this one? What's this one? Yeah, let's do this one. It's called Fixie. Oh, so it's actually a song that I have played. Or did I not play this one yesterday? I guess I didn't. Yeah, ADHD in full effect, whatever. Yeah, I think this one might be a little intense right now. I thought it was something else for some reason. Alright, I rarely do this, but I'm gonna switch tracks here. I was kind of in a darker place. Much more emo, moody place. Let's go back to that. What was I gonna play? Yeah, completely broke the mood. Sorry, y'all. It's so unlike me. But I wanted some vibes. Let's go some vibes here. was Grown to Like You. And by the same band you've been hearing for the last 2 hours. Me. The band Me. Alright, so I got Aristarchus in view. I thought it would be a little clearer, but I'm not going to complain. We got some amazing sharpness tonight, so I'm going to let it settle. And you can see the very bright white center of Aristarchus crater on the corner of Aristarchus plateau. To the left, you've got Herodotus flat-planed crater, and then in the center, you've got this beautiful Schroeder's Valley, or Valles Scroteri. That sounds way more vulgar. But yeah, Aristarchus in full effect. 3:05 a.m. East Coast. I see Genghis Khan in the chat. What's going on, Jin? Jin. Nice to see you. There you go, Astralis. You read my mind. You read my aura. Late to the shindig. I still got a little energy. I'm getting a little tired, though. You can hear my back cracking. My spine cracking. Crack your bones, crack your bones. We'll keep going with the deeper cuts here. I'm having fun. It's a little off kilter, but why not? Or should I talk about scientific theories? Should I talk about ideas that no one's ever heard before? I find it amusing when people talk about AGI, artificial general intelligence, and how artificial intelligence is going to be smarter than all humans. And yet, I have my doubts about it. Not because I think the compute power won't be impressive and that it won't be able to do all these amazing things, that humans wouldn't really want to retain all this information. We want to read a bunch of information and then distill it into beautiful little tidbits. And so, I don't know. I feel like I see all this artificial intelligence talk, and I feel like people don't consider this idea of garbage in, garbage out. So if you feed it all these theories that don't go anywhere, then AI will spit back ideas that don't go anywhere. And that's what we're seeing today, even on the best models. But I'm always, I don't want to say optimistic. I'm definitely not optimistic about where it might be headed. But the silver lining is that I feel like the true knowledge is the friends we made along the way. No, the true knowledge is the stuff I'm talking about, or at least I feel like the stuff I'm talking about. Memory, who we are as deities, how the eyes work, where planets are from. These are the big ideas that most people just will not embrace. And it's funny, before the show tonight I was listening to some Alan Watts to get pumped up. That's my, what do they call it? My warm-up song or my walk-on song is listening to Alan Watts. So walk-on Alan Watts was saying exactly that. He was saying, I think one of the audience members was like, no, what was it? He was saying something to the effect of what I say all the time, which is you could just tell people all the truths and people are not going to believe it because they need to ignore all the truths and they need to be caught up in the play. And that's, I find it very funny and reliable that basically you can say anything and people will still be, well, I just want my own opinion on things. I don't care if I hear the entire truth. I'll still believe what I want to believe. And that upholds our entire reality, funnily enough. And almost as frustrating as it is, it's just as necessary. Huh? That makes sense? Let's read some chats. Let's see. Genghis Khan says, excellent days. Let's see. Welcome, welcome. NGC says, I've seen some robots do some amazing 3D joint movements. I wish my knees moved like that. That, I agree. Like I said, I'm not trying to dismiss how impressive robotics and AI is and will be in the next, year or two before the world ends. But at least But there's something about the whole asking a large language model really important questions that you end up getting basically the same answers you would get on Quora, Reddit, Kurzgast, Khan Academy. These canned responses that rely on hundred year old ideas, hundreds of year old ideas. I can barely speak. Honestly, I can barely speak. But you know what I'm saying, just these antiquated ideas. And I know how dismissive I sound. It's just like, we need to think about new things. We need to consider new ideas, new paths forward. It's just so tiresome to get the same canned answers over and over and over again, just because it sells. That's what I think. So let's keep going here. Aristarchus looking amazing, but there are other parts of the moon that we can see too. Let's check out Sinus Iridum. NGC makes a great point about how humans made robots, so who's smarter? Yeah, I think that's a really great point. It's like, there's always this idea that we're going to create the next thing that replaces us, but humans are truly, well, not just humans, life on Earth and the solar system as intelligence are just as powerful as anything that is created and that emerges in our system. So even if robotics and AI replace humans or become a dominant species or a subdominant species on Earth, or just helpers, or we go to war with AI and robots, this is a natural process. I think that's the only logical way to look at it. It doesn't mean it's not crazy, like one way or another you can look at it emotionally, but in terms of how things play out on Earth, it seems very natural to me that ultimately this would happen. There's no way to talk about some of this stuff without sounding a little bit bleak, but, you know, this planet will ripen in some way or another. Aristarchus is watching us. I know, it's really wild. Let's look at this Terminator line here and hold on another song. So many songs to pick, and I'm having one of those nights here. This is a classic. No, it's a classic. This is from the archive one. If you know it, let me know.
Days on 10 don't make me
All right, I like that one, Astralis. I don't know. That outro is fun. When I first, I mean, like when I first had that, because it's an older track, I was like, that's the exact kind of outro I've always wanted to write. With that little bit of vibe at the end. You'll notice I have a couple of songs like that where I kind of get to this point at the end where I want to take it out on this note. The other one is It'll Come to Me. But I have a couple of tracks here that are still really quirky and weird. I want to keep going with it. What's this one? No. What is this? Alright, was it this one? Yeah, this is the track. The Past is the Nast. It was from early days TBS, so let's rock out to this for a little bit.
Permanent lines through my face. All that matters is what I say. In your dreams, you erupted, got corrupted by the cutlass on the brain. All day stuck in this I never had such a simple love before. I learned nothing from the back of the classroom. Oh, and now I'm dreaming for myself for the first time. I never loved such a simple life before. I heard that from the front of the universe, and now I'm wondering how it's doing its thing for me. Oh, would you cool down hard? Patterns, 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 patterns. Said you cool down hard. Oh, will you cool down hard? Patterns, patterns, said you cool down. Oh, now I'm wondering why and how I love for you. It's all for you. Fed and waited on my puppets on a string. Do you feel how I feel? Do you care what I feel? Vampires, samurais, dealing ways that as you ask you to pattern before my eyes. Remember, told you, said you colors more organized. But when you cool down hard, patterns, said you cool down. Now my mind is wide open, staring at a trillion bright lights. Where the hell are you? Oh, my heart is wide open, wide open, wide open. Driving to a million far sights. Don't twice. Feel right, no device. Calling all we reaching the moon. I'm drifting along the
feeling is cool, and I know just what to do. When you left, it was cool by me.
Calling all we reaching the moon. I'm drifting on the shores of embryo. Shores of Chrysia.
All right, here we go. So, 3:30 a.m. This Luna is just incredible. I was looking to see if I could figure out this inverted thing, but to no avail. So, it's perfectly fine. We got 99.5% illumination across Luna. Just a little bit of the Terminator you can tell on the left. Such a wonderful sight to see as always. Great hanging out with the Space fam. I'm gonna start wrapping it up. I think I should probably crash, put away everything, and have like 2 bottles of water and pass the F out. But it's been good. Yeah. Played some really deep cuts tonight, some fun little tracks. Tomorrow, I guess, is fully full. But we're here for this. This is the most recent image of our Luna up close. Always riding the edge of space on the wave together. So thanks everybody for hanging out. A couple more tracks here and I'll let Luna drift. I could literally stay up all night with this, but sometimes too much of a good thing. Thanks Luna for the absolutely immaculate sharpness and clarity tonight, in contrast with yesterday. Alright, c'est quoi le dernier or penultimate track here? This is early TakeBackSpace 2015 vibes. Alright, leave me your last thoughts in the comments, everybody. Like that track. I haven't played this one maybe in a long time. Okay, thanks everybody. I'm cooked. I'm absolutely cooked. Put a fork in me. We're gonna go out with this one is definitely a classic, but yeah. Have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are. And I'll try and get on tomorrow around the same time, midnight or 1 a.m. If I don't, you know, I always do try and make it for the full moon, but this is pretty close. This is kind of incredible, this view right here tonight. So we'll see. I'm hedging, but I'm bullish. I'm bullish, yet I hedge. Thanks everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all, each and every one of you, and everyone who wasn't here tonight. Ellie and Dagger Spells and all our old friends who also have been around a while. But if you're catching this, I appreciate you. This is your captain signing off for another amazing trip through space, in my opinion. And some chat about how our eyes work. So thanks for indulging me on that. Leave me some comments, and I will catch you on the next one, everybody. You're my family, and I love you forever. Bon nuit. Into
Thank